Hello, everyone. What a thrill and honor to welcome you all to the Vermont Poetry Out Loud State Finals. Yay! This evening, we celebrate students from across Vermont who have worked their way through classroom, school-wide, and regional competitions to get here today for the chance to represent Vermont at the Poetry Out Loud National Finals in Washington, D.C. My name's Amy Cunningham. I'm the interim executive director at the Vermont Arts Council, and as the state arts agency and affiliate for the National Endowment for the Arts, we've had the privilege to run this national program in Vermont for many years. But there have been some exciting changes in Poetry Out Loud this year. We have passed the torch of this program to the very capable team here at the Flynn, and they've done truly a remarkable job of making it blossom this year. So thank you to the team at the Flynn, to Michael Bureau for his work to organize, and also to Jennifer Skender and Jay Wall for all of their vision and leadership. We're so pleased to be partnering with you all. I also extend my gratitude to the all-star lineup of judges we have here tonight. Thank you, and I hope you're ready. You have a hard job tonight. I know from seeing them all perform in Barrie just last week that this is a truly exceptional pool of performers. I want to acknowledge all of the people who've supported and coached these incredible students on their journey to get here today. Teachers, parents, and families, teaching artists, classmates, please know that we see and appreciate the commitment and support that you have provided to these students. So give yourself a round of applause. There's a lot that goes into this. But above all, I want to thank the students. The courage, the practice, the amount of reflection, the study and preparation that it takes to stand in the spotlight and perform. It's a gift to each one of us here in the audience, truly, to experience the fruit of your labor. So thank you for your commitment and for sharing your art with us. And when I think about why this program matters, why hearing poetry by heart is transformative, why art of all kinds is such a crucial lifeline, I'm drawn to one of my favorite quotes from the great James Baldwin. This is from an essay, an interview with him in Life magazine in 1963. So I'll close with his words. "You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then you read. It was Dostoevsky and Dickens who taught me that the things that tormented me most were the very things that connected me with all the people who were alive or who had ever been alive. An artist is a sort of emotional or spiritual historian. Their role is to make you realize the doom and glory of knowing who you are and what you are. He has to tell because nobody else can tell what it is like to be alive." Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. All right, Siri, thank you. And thank you, Amy. That was Amy Cunningham from the Vermont Arts Council. Thank you so much. I want to think about that James Baldwin quote. I want to live that James Baldwin quote. My name is Jay Wall. I'm the executive director here at the Flynn. And on behalf of the Flynn, welcome to the state finals for Poetry Out Loud. It is extraordinary to be here. As you all know, Poetry Out Loud is a national poetry recitation competition supported and facilitated by the National Endowment for the Arts and the Poetry Foundation, and the Flynn is grateful to partner with them and the Vermont Arts Council on this project. The arts ignite change. Kind of another way to say what Amy so eloquently put in James Baldwin. The arts are non-negotiable. It's oxygen. It's fundamental to who we are, how we see ourselves, how we learn about ourselves, how we see our future, our loved ones, our past, and to kick open all those doors in our hearts and minds. And I can't wait to have that experience from your words tonight. So thank you for being as leaders and spiritual guides tonight in this journey of language. I'm very honored to be able to witness this. It's a time of gratitude. Amy thanked a lot of people, and I have so many people to thank, and I'm sure you have that too. She mentioned the teaching artists who have been leading these students and going around the state to work with a few thousand students across the state. It's been quite an extraordinary project. So thank you to Morgan Irons, Jeff Hewitt, Gina Stevenson, John Haddon, Meg Clary, Jasper Oliver and Quinn Roll. Thank you to them. Thank you to your teachers, right, who brought this program to you, who encourages you every day to open a book and open your minds in the process. So if there are teachers here, thank you. It's a brave and powerful thing you do every day, and we're grateful. Thank you to Amy Cunningham and Troy Hickman, who somewhere at the Vermont Arts Council, we wouldn't be here without your leadership and kindness and generosity to the arts. Thank you for that. Thank you to the Media Factory for live streaming this event. I'm live on Zoom. It's such a weird feeling. Thank you to the Poetry Society of Vermont for providing the state champion a free membership. The membership includes opportunities to participate in readings, being published in the Mountain Troubadour, and to connect with the community of readers and writers of poetry across the state. So tonight, just a format, so you all know what's going to happen. 10 students right here will each recite 2 poems over 2 rounds. Our 3 top scoring students will move on to round 3 and recite a 3rd poem for the chance to win $200 and an all-expense trip paid to Washington, D.C. to represent our great state of Vermont at the national finals. You excited? It's too much. I just can't. If you do me a favor, turn your phones on silent or off. I'd say off. Just be here with us tonight. Be here with these brave students and listen to their words. And with that, I'll leave you to our guide and MC for the evening. So I'd like to introduce you to Jolivette Anderson Duaning, poet, theater artist, performer, musician, and took the stage upstairs last week for the Black Experience and just rocked it out. So you're in for a treat tonight. I give you your host for the evening, Jolivette. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Why don't we start with a big inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Doesn't that feel good? Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale slowly. That's the way to do it. So I asked myself a couple of questions. Why poetry and why out loud? And the answer that came to me was poetry is about our humanity, and out loud because our humanity is communicated to us and each other through our senses. Hearing, sound being one of those ways. So let us not only just listen tonight, but let us go back. Let's use our memory and think about the first poem that you ever heard. The first poem you ever recited, the first poem you ever read. What did it do to you? What did it do to your humanity that brought you here in this space today, and also with us virtually on the live stream? So as you think about yourself, let yourself be in communion with these young people tonight as they share their words and their youthful wisdom and the words of the writers they've chosen to share with us tonight. How about that? Is that a deal? Sounds good. Okay, excellent. But before we get into that, we have some phenomenal human beings that are taking out their time today to coach and guide these young people by being judges tonight. So first, let me introduce them. And after I introduce you, would you please either stand and wave at everyone or wave at the camera, whichever works. First, it's Dana Kaplan. As the Executive Director of Outright Vermont, Dana is responsible for overseeing the organization's strategic direction and inspiring Outright staff, partners, and supporters to take meaningful action in support of our mission. Dana keeps his eyes on the horizon and his hands on the wheel, ensuring that Outright is queer, steady, and always advancing towards a Vermont where all LGBTQ+ youth have hope, equity, and power. Dana's graduate degree in mediation and applied conflict studies shaped him into the relationship builder he is today. Please stand and say hi. Thank you. Shanta Lee is an artist who works in different mediums as a photographer, writer across genres, and is a public intellectual whose work has been widely featured. Her major exhibition, Dark Goddess, an exploration of the sacred feminine, I'm all about that, is currently on view at the Fleming Museum of Art through May 20th. So get yourself out there and see that. She has an MFA in creative nonfiction, and poetry at the Vermont College of Fine Arts. She has an MBA from the University of Hartford and an undergraduate degree in women, gender, and sexuality studies from Trinity College. Would you please stand and wave and say hi? Thank you. Susan Evans McClure is the executive director of Lake Champlain Maritime Museum. She leads the talented team of educators, curators, museum professionals, and archaeologists as they connect people to our region's past to build a stronger future for our communities. Susan holds an EDM, Education Master's in Arts in Education, from the Harvard Graduate School of Education, and a BA in Theater, I love you already, and history from McGill University. Please stand and say hi. Y'all show her some love. Sarah Alsley is the author of Landlocked X, text from Texas Review Press from 2023. It's new, I love that. A Korean-American adoptee raised in rural Vermont. She has received support from the Rona Jaffe, I'm saying that right, Foundation, Vermont Studio Center, Banff Center's Writing Studio, and the Vermont Arts Council. Her work has appeared in New England Review, the Cortland Review, Four-Way Review, the Massachusetts Review, Tupelo Quarterly, Pleiades, and elsewhere. A graduate of the MFA program for writers at Warren Wilson College and a member of the Starlings Collective, Alsley lives and works in Johnson, Vermont, where she serves as the writing program manager at Vermont Studio Center. Please stand and say hi. So one big family. Okay, last but not least, Morgan Irons, a native Vermonter who grew up hearing her mother quote poetry as commentary on any situation, from a rainy day to a moral dilemma. Morgan earned her first money by memorizing poetry herself, for which her parents paid her a penny a line. I'm loving this all the way. Years later, not surprisingly, she was reciting poetry on stage and leading poetry performance workshops in elementary schools and public libraries, all of which led in 2005 to her launching Vermont's Poetry Out Loud program for the Vermont Arts Council. She served several years as the state coordinator, conducted teacher training workshops, and wrote a guide for the national website. As a Poetry Out Loud visiting artist, Morgan has coached students in high schools throughout the state and also led Poetry Out Loud programs in Vermont correctional facilities. Please stand and say hi. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for all of your hard work that you're doing in the community and throughout the state and in the world. All right. So with that, we have our judges introduced. We've met our people from the Arts Council and from the Flynn, and now it's time for the focus. Let's breathe again. Let's give this energy to our young people on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We will officially begin round 1. Please welcome to the stage Ann Hawes, Woodstock Union High School.
Sonnet 55, Not Marble Nor the Gilded Monuments, by William Shakespeare. Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Against death and all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth. Your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes.
I'm so tempted to say I studied Shakespeare. Oh, I think I was in As You Like It. It's been so long I can't remember. All right. Next, please. Judges? Yeah. One more minute? Oh, okay. Well, I got stories. What y'all want to do? I have a lot of Louisiana stories. Okay, so the first story I'll tell is my first experience with poetry. It was my father, whose name is Jethro, I kid you not, and he used to recite poems when he was in the 3rd grade. They had to remember poetry. But the funny thing about it was, it wasn't some famous poet. It was a man from Shreveport, Louisiana, where I'm from. And my dad was born in Keithville, which is a rural area. And that poem was by Ephraim Tyler. And it was something that they recited in a Louisiana Southern dialect. So my first introduction to poetry was actually in the home. So in this day and age, I'm kind of proud of that. I'm actually happy that I have a connection to poetry through my family. So I want you all to think about, once again, the questions I asked at the beginning. Your first experience. What does your memory tell you about the very first poem you've ever experienced? Keep that in mind. I don't have any money to give you at the end, but we will have a conversation. All right. Next, please welcome our young person up whose name is Lily Hutchison.
Mansplaining by Jennifer Militello. Dear Sir, your air of authority leaves me lost, eases me from a place of ease, contracts with my contradictions to take from me a place, autopilots my autobiography, frightens my fright, sighs with my breath, wins at my race. Your certainty has me curtained. Your nerve has me nervous. Your childhood has me childlike, and your nastiness nests in my belfry like a hawk. You are beyond and above my slice of sky, peach as a pie, bourbon as its pit. You are spit and vinegar while I sour in my bowl. You bowl me over while I tread lightly on my feet. You walk on water while I sink. You witness me, fisherman, boat on the lake, while I struggle and burble and brittle and drop. You wink at me, and I must relate. I close my eyes to erase you, and you are written in my lids. A litmus test, a form of lair, God with 3 days of facial growth and an old bouquet for a face. Soap and water for a brain. I have no handsome answer. I have no pillar of salt or shoulder to look over. I have no feather to weigh. I have no bubble to burst. I am less to myself, a character in a drama, a drumbeat, a benevolence, a blight. All parts of me say shoot on sight. Aim for an artery or organ. Good night.
So back to Jethro. Seriously, though, when we think about what a poem can do, we're thinking about change. We're thinking about our hearts, our minds, and our souls. We are thinking about the future. We're thinking about communication. So all of these things that make us human, make us who we are placed inside of rhyme and rhythm and imagery and so forth and so on. So think about that as you think about these words that the young people are sharing with you tonight, the authors that have written these words. And let's be excited for what's happening here tonight and wish all of them the absolute best, for sure. Okay. By the way, if I did not say it earlier, Lily is from Burr and Burton Academy. So we want to show them some love at that school, right? I knew somebody would be there. Yes. Okay. So our next presenter is Mira Novak from Champlain Valley Union High School. Yes? Yes. Welcome. So as I'm sitting, I'm thinking I should say a special thank you to librarians. Are there any librarians in the house? I say that because as a elementary school child, Mrs. Odom, I remember her name, she made a huge deal about poetry. She made a huge deal about a poem that I wrote. And in Caddo Parish schools in Louisiana, they had a program called Seedlings, where they would take poems from kids from all the schools, and they would put the poems in a book and publish it. And then you'd go downtown, somewhere on the Red River downtown at a building with your parents, and you would pick up a copy of a book with your name and your poem in it. Right? And it made an impression upon me for a very long time in my life. So all of you librarians out there, teachers included, parents, every little thing that you do that's a piece of encouragement lasts a lifetime in the hearts and minds of your children. And I just want to say thank you to the librarian, Mrs. Odom. So now we have my daddy, Jethro, and Mrs. Odom. And we're going to keep this going throughout my whole life. All right, moving on to the next young person. Please welcome to the stage Melissa Hall, Bellows Free Academy, Fairfax, representing. Yes.
Full Moon by Eleanor Wiley. My bands of silk and miniver momently grew heavier. The black gauze was beggarly thin, the ermine muffled mouth and chin. I could not suck the moonlight in. Harlequin, in lozenges of love and hate, I walked in these striped and ragged rigmaroles. Along the pavement, my footsoles trod warily on living coals. Shouldering the thoughts I loathed, in their corrupt disguises clothed, morality I could not tear from my ribs to leave them bare, ivory in the silver air. There I walked, and there I raged. The spiritual savage caged within my skeleton raged afresh to feel behind a carnal mesh the clean bones crying in the flesh.
Parents, where are you? Thank you for quietly raising your hand and not embarrassing your child. I have one at home, and I understand. But one thing that I am learning, being a somewhat older parent of a 16-year-old, is that I really appreciate her, because I don't know what to do with cell phones. Something so simple, I just pass it to her and click, 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 and we're done, right? But one thing that I do love about cell phones, you can find poems on cell phones through Google. and I had to look up several pieces that I couldn't quite remember anymore because my memory is not what it used to be when I was younger. And I'm grateful for the poetryfoundation.org for the poems that they have listed in the lyrics. So if you are ever wondering, if you just have some time to, look up a poem or two while you're sitting there with your technology. So that's one good thing about technology. It gives us access to things like poems and authors that we kind of sort of remember but couldn't quite get it. And one of the poems that I remember that I'll tell you about a little bit later is another one that made me have a deeper connection with my parents. So we'll get to that later. Moving forward, please welcome Andy Marie Tisdale from People's Academy.
The Wind Hover by Gerard Manley Hopkins, to Christ our Lord. I caught this morning morning's minion, kingdom of daylight's dauphin, dapple dawn-drawn falcon in his riding of the rolling level underneath him steady air, and striding high there how he rung upon the rein of a wimpling wing in his ecstasy, then off forth on swing as a skate's heel sweeps smooth on a bow bend, the hurl and gliding rebuffed the big wind. My heart, in hiding, stirred for a bird, the achieve of the mastery of the thing. Brute beauty and valor and act, O air, plume, pride, here buckle, and the fire that breaks from thee then a billion times told lovelier, more dangerous. Oh, my chevalier. No wonder of it. Sheer plod makes plow down Cillian shine, and blue bleak embers, oh, my dear, fall, gall themselves, and gash gold vermilion.
Does anyone else out there love imagery? It takes you places that you may not have known you could go, right? Gotta love it. It's like when my father introduced me to Edward Fitzgerald, right? It's like, wake, for the sun hath gathered into flight, the stars before them on a field of light, right? The poem is 99 miles long, so don't expect more than that, right? But the first line caught me, wake, right? For the sun has, giving voice to, right? So I am all about imagery. I'm all about what a poem can do to inform me and make me go to the dictionary and look up words I don't really know, to build my vocabulary, and all of those things. And it never ends. It's lifelong learning right in a poem, right? You can go back to that poem 10 years later and find something new and fresh and different about it. And that's what I think makes it exciting, right? So with that, I feel like I'm just having a real geeked out moment here. And I hope you don't mind. Right. Moving on to the next presenter, please welcome Greer Kennedy, St. Johnsbury Academy.
Mr. Darcy by Victoria Chang. In the end, she just wanted the house and a horse, not much more. What if he didn't own the house? Or worse, not even a horse? How do we separate the things from a man, the man from things? Is a man still the same without his reins? Here, it rains. Every 15 minutes. It would be foolish to marry a man without an umbrella. Did Cinderella really love the prince? Or just the prince on the curtains in the ballroom? Once I went window shopping, but I didn't want a window. When do you know it's time to get a new man? One who can win more things at the fair. I already have 4 stuffed pandas from the fair I won fair and square. Is it time to be less square, to wear something more revealing? In North and South, she does the dealing, gives him the money in the end. But she falls in love with him when he has the money, when he is still running away. If the water is running in the other room, is it wrong for me not to want to chase it? Because it owns nothing else. When I wave to a man, I love what happens when another man with a lot more bags waves back.
Ooh, well, I am feeling mighty empowered as I step back up to the mic. And I love the way one piece makes you think of another piece as if there's this long conversation happening and it's nothing but poems speaking to each other. For some reason, Sonia Sanchez popped into my head. And she said, oh my gosh, it was a poem she wrote called Song Number 2. I say, all you young girls waiting to live. That one line, all you young girls waiting to live. The wisdom in that, meaning there's some older women who know some things that they are trying to teach the younger women. So all you young girls waiting to live, you think you're living, you ain't living yet. That in itself sounds like a conversation between me and my daughter. So yes, yes, yes. All right, how about, let's pause and breathe again. Inhale. Are you enjoying yourself so far? Okay. Let us move forward with our next presenter. Our next young person is Grace Bruley of Bellows Free Academy, St. Albans. Please welcome. Yes?
The World is About to End, and My Grandparents Are in Love by Kara Jackson. Still, living like they orbit one another. My grandfather, the planet, and Grandma, his moon assigned by some gravitational pull. They have loved long enough for a working man to retire. Grandma says she's not tired. She wears her husband like a coat that survives every season, talks about him the way my parents talk about vinyl, the subject salvaged by the tent of their tongues. Grandma returns to her love like a hymn, marks it with a color. When the world ends, will it suck the earth of all its love? Will I go taking somebody's hand, my skin becoming their skin? The digital age is taking away our winters. And I'm afraid the sun is my soulmate. That waste waits for a wet kiss. Carbon calls me pretty, and I think death is a good first date. I hope when the world ends, it leaves them be. Spares Grandpa and his game, Grandma spinning corn into weight, the two of them reeling into Western theme songs, the TV louder than whatever's coming.
I just want to talk about being a grandparent now. It's just like, how many of you, we got any grandparents in the house, first of all? Thank you for raising your hand and possibly not embarrassing your grandchild. Okay, so the theme that I usually work from is appreciating wisdom, especially as I grow older. And I'm thinking about wisdom doesn't mean that you're necessarily old. Because what I hear in the poems, the choices of poems, the content of the poems is wisdom. And so once again, let us think about the wisdom of our young people and pause and take a moment to listen to what they have to say. And I will encourage my child and my child only, because I'm not going to ask anybody's child to do anything, my child to listen to my wisdom sometimes as I listen to people that are older than me and their wisdom. So we keep that thread, that continuity of experience and memory and all of that alive. I think it's so important. I think it's urgent, actually. Yes. So as we move forward, please welcome Brenna Lee, Williamstown High School.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever gods may be, for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced, nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me, unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Yeah, I almost forgot I was emceeing. Okay. With that, let's go back to the question that I asked earlier, because it's almost time for me to ask for some audience participation in a little while. The first poem you remember, that's your assignment. Okay? The first poem that you remember. And I will try to award a snack to anyone who can share. Thank y'all for laughing at my jokes. I appreciate it. Thank you for laughing at my jokes. I was, we need a drama. Boom. No. Okay. So moving forward. Breathe. Welcome our next young person. Please welcome Mary Bosco from Thetford Academy.
Fairy Tale with Laryngitis and Resignation Letter by Jean Dubrow. You remember the mermaid makes a deal. Her tongue evicted from her throat, and moving is a knife cut with every step. This is what escape from water means. Dear colleagues, you write, for weeks I've been typing this letter in the bright kingdom of my imagination. Your body is a ship of pain. Pleasure is when you climb the rocks and watch the moonlight, touching everywhere you want to go, a silver world called far away. Dear colleagues, you write, this place is a few sentences contained by the cursor's rippling barrier. What happened here is only beaks and brackets, the serif's liquid stroke. The old story has witches, a prince in love with the surging silence of women, a knife that turns the water red. You write, dear colleagues, now these years are filed in the infinite oceans of bureaucracy. Everything bleaches or fades. In other words, goodbye. Sometimes it's possible to walk. Although you've been told inside the oyster shell of your heart there is no soul. Creatures like you must end as a spray of salt. Green droplets floating breathless in the air.
We are having a wonderful night. We're having a wonderful night, and we are almost done with our very first round and going to move into our second round. And let's breathe again, because I need it. I hope you need it too. And let's pause and give thanks for ourselves, our families, and these young people, and all of the support that has surrounded them. First round's been wonderful, and I know the second round will be as well. And with that, I want us to move forward into welcoming to the stage Morea Lambert, Rice Memorial High School.
Israfel by Edgar Allan Poe. And the angel Israfel, whose heartstrings are a lute, and who has the sweetest voice of all God's creatures. Quran. In heaven, a spirit doth dwell whose heartstrings are a lute. None sing so wildly well as the angel Israfel. And the giddy stars, so legends tell, ceasing their hymns, attend the spell of his voice, all mute. Tottering above in her highest noon, the enamored moon blushes with love. While to listen, the red levin with the rapid Pleiads, even which were 7 pauses in heaven. And they say, the starry choir and the other listening things, that Israfeli's fire is owing to that lyre by which he sits and sings the trembling, living wire of those unusual strings. But the sky is that angel trod, where deep thoughts are a duty, where love's a grown-up God, where the hoary glances are imbued with all the beauty which we worship in a star. Therefore, thou art not wrong, Israfeli, who despisest an unimpassioned song. To thee the laurels belong, best bard because the wisest merrily live and long. The ecstasies above with thy burning measure suit. Thy grief, thy joy, thy hate, thy love, with the fervor of thy lute, well may the stars be mute. If I could dwell where Israfel hath dwelt, and he where I, he might not sing so wildly well a mortal melody, wow. A bolder note than this might swell from my lyre within the sky.
How about keeping the applause going for the first round? Completion of the first round. We've made accomplishments. We've gotten through the first round. I promised you it would be some audience participation. I need one person to share the first poem you remember. Wow. What do I have to do? Come out into the audience with a mic? Y'all don't count. You don't count with this one. You don't count with this. I'm with the audience. You're a Thank you.
I don't know if this is exactly what it's called, but liquid fields of Pontefract or something along those lines.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up. The liquid feels. What did you like about it? You didn't say you liked it. You just said that's the first one you remember, right? So let me get myself straight, okay? Did you like it?
I thought it was kind of okay. My dad used to memorize poetry in theater class as a kid.
Your dad too? My dad too? Yes. When it starts in the home, I can't tell you the impact it made on me. And you're here tonight, right? And I think it made an impact on you. So, yes, I want to ask other people, but no. Okay? We're gonna The next time I ask the audience to participate, I hope you volunteer more quickly than you did. But it's going to be, has anyone in here recited poetry before? I'm not talking to y'all. I'm not talking to y'all. Okay. Thank you. I see one hand, a few. I know there have been more people. Thank you. It's a whole bunch of us. I will not ask you to get up here and recite, but I will ask if you would share. That's the next talk back, all right? The names of some poems, because what we're doing is we're sharing information. I've never heard of the fields of what? Pontefract. See, I am going to look that up, right? And I'm going to have me some interesting reading. So think about a poem you'd like to share that other people may not have heard of before, so we can go and do some reading later and just entertain ourselves with some poems. Does that sound okay? I think so too. Thank you for that. I think y'all just boosted my self-esteem. All right, that's good. It was high already, but nothing wrong with a little boost, okay? I need that person to travel with me everywhere I go. Laughter and poetry can heal the soul. All right, so let's take a deep breath, get this energy shift, and let's begin our round two. Judges, we ready? Y'all good? We good? Okay. You can tell I'm from the South because I say y'all a whole lot. Okay. Whew. All right. So let's begin round two. We're going to go in the same order. So please welcome to the stage Ann Hawes, Woodstock. What am I? Woodstock Union High School. I know they're listening, and I'll catch it.
The Properly Scholarly Attitude by Adelaide Crapsey. The poet pursues his beautiful theme, the preacher his golden beatitude, and I run after a vanishing dream, the glittering, will-o'-the-wispish gleam of the properly scholarly attitude, the highly desirable, the very advisable, the hardly acquirable properly scholarly attitude. I envy the savage, without any clothes, who lives in a tropical latitude. It's little of general culture he knows, but then he escapes the worrisome woes of the properly scholarly attitude, the unceasingly sighed over, wept over, cried over, the futilely died over properly scholarly attitude. I work and I work till I nearly am dead and could say what the watchman said, that I could, but still, with a sigh and a shake of the head, you don't understand, it is ruthlessly said, the properly scholarly attitude. The I to be sought for, wrought for, and fought for, the ne'er to be caught for, properly scholarly attitude. I really am sometimes tempted to say that it's merely a glittering platitude, that people have just fallen into the way when lacking a subject to tell of the sway of the properly scholarly attitude, the easily preachable, spread-eagle speechable, in practice unreachable, properly scholarly attitude.
So what I did not mention is I work in higher education. For some reason, I just thought I'd share that at that moment. I'm gonna take that person with me. Okay. The thinking people, yes, definitely got that. That was really a joke and really not a joke. Okay, so I teach history. Exactly, that's funny, really funny. This thing is really funny. I teach history at St. Michael's College. Please come and join us. I'm the inaugural Edmondite African American Fellow there, as well as being a poet and a mom and a consultant and a person with a lot of jobs. So I'm not necessarily sending a shout out to St. Mike's, but just to know that in higher education, there's a lot of work being done, and a lot of it connects to the word, the spoken word, poetry. And once again, when I'm in the classroom, I often use poems to help connect the dots for my students, right? And so oftentimes it works because it brings out things that they didn't necessarily think about or know about, right? I must admit, I still remember payphones. and some of them have no idea what payphone is, right? So I saw that for some reason, something happened and I just thought about higher education. I wonder what that was. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the next person for round two, please welcome back to the stage Lily Hutchison, Burr and Burton Academy.
A Birthday by Christina Rossetti. My heart is like a singing bird whose nest is in a watered shoot. My heart is like an apple tree whose boughs are bent with thick-set fruit. My heart is like a rainbow shell that paddles in a halcyon sea. My heart is gladder than all these, because my love is come to me. Raise me a dais of silk and down, hang it with vair and purple dyes, carve it in doves and pomegranates and peacocks with 100 eyes, work it in gold and silver grapes, in leaves and silver fleur-de-lis, because the birthday of my life is come. My love is come to me.
Right. So what makes one a real Vermonter? Do you say Vermonter and without the T, or Vermonter with the hard T? What makes one a true Vermonter? Anybody? I don't know, for some reason I was just thinking that when I went apple picking, that made me a Vermonter. Could that be? Yeah. Yeah. And what? Mud boots? I think I missed that one. Oh, you mean because of I get it. I need those in my life. I do. Especially after that tumble I took this morning out by the dumpsters at St. Mike's. Yeah. Just taking out the trash and plop. But that wouldn't have helped. It was just slippery as slip. Do y'all have something that stops people from slipping down when they're just trying to live their lives? Oh, cleats? Ice cleats. Yak tracks. I am officially not a Vermonter yet. I'm determined to be one. So it's not just apple picking and creamies, it's yak tracks and mud boots. I got this, okay? Yak tracks mud boots. Sounds like the beginning of a Vermont poem, doesn't it? Yak tracks and mud boots? No. Okay, moving forward, please welcome back to the stage Myra Novak, Champlain Valley Union High. How many people in here appreciate the wrestling that you've had to do to get to where you are right now? Sometimes I think I'm a horrible parent because I don't want my child to have to wrestle because I remember wrestling and I don't remember appreciating it in the moment. Who does, right, in the moment? But the conversations with self, for some reason, I just started thinking about my inner child. I don't know why. Do y'all know why that might have happened? I've been trying to demonstrate that I'm actually listening, y'all. Oh, wonderful. Excellent. So let's move on. And my apologies, it's Mira. Mira, not Myra, it's Mira. Yes, thank you. My apologies for that. Moving forward, please, let's welcome to the stage Melissa Hall, Bellows Free Academy, Fairfax.
A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless, patient spider I marked where on a little promontory it stood, isolated. Marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding, it launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, oh, my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere. Oh, my soul.
So what if everything we spewed out was a testimony to our healing? Regardless of how it comes out, it communicates that we're human and we're going through some things. Just what if? Food for thought, right? For some reason, I thought about that. I don't know what could have made me think about that. Very interesting. and the threads of connectivity. When I heal, I'm an example to other people that healing is possible. And we don't have to hold on to all the pain, unresolved issues. So what if we spewed out everything we spewed out, reminded ourselves and someone else that we're just having a human experience? Indeed. Please welcome back to the stage Andy Marie Tisdale, People's Academy.
It's the Little Towns I Like by Thomas Lux. It's the little towns I like, with their little mills making ratchets and stanchions, elastic webs, spindles, you name it. I like them in New England, America, particularly providing bad jobs, good enough to live on, to live in families even. Kindergarten, church suppers, beach umbrellas. The towns are real. So fragile in their loneliness. A flood could come along, and floods have, and cut them in two, in half. There is no mayor. The town council's not prepared for this. 3 of the 4 policemen are stuck on their roofs, and it doesn't stop raining. The mountain is so thick with water, parts of it just slide down on the heifers, soggy, suicidal in the pastures below. It rains. It rains in these towns, and because there's no other way, your father gets in a rowboat so he can go to work.
I'm back on history again. And John Mellencamp, when his middle name was Cougar. You all know the song? Who knows the song? Tell me the truth. Want to sing it? Got it. I was born in a small town. That one. That's the one that popped into my head for some reason. I think we know the reason. Yes. All right. I remember the 80s. And that's what brought me to John Cougar Mellencamp, when night tracks used to come on the TV at night, right before they bumped up, or right after they bumped up the 3 channels to cable TV, where I was from. Okay, moving along. We'll discuss more later. Connections. It's all about connections. Please welcome back to the stage Greer Kennedy, St. Johnsbury Academy.
On the Death of Anne Bronte by Charlotte Bronte. There's little joy in life for me, and little terror in the grave. I've lived the parting hour to see of one I would have died to save. Calmly, to watch the failing breath wishing each sigh might be the last, longing to see the shade of death o'er those beloved features cast. The cloud, the stillness that must part, the darling of my life from me. And then to thank God from my heart, to thank him well and fervently. Although I knew that we had lost the hope and glory of our life. And now, benighted, tempest-tossed, must bear alone the weary strife.
I am on a journey tonight, a journey I was not expecting to take, but I'm here and I'm on it because I've just had a poetry memory, if that's a thing. If it's not, it's going to be a thing tonight. Is there or is there not a poem titled, I Heard a Fly Buzz When I Died? There is? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Because I thought I was tripping. Because that has to be a 35-year-old memory, okay? Yes, no, it's older, it's 40. It's about a 40-year-old memory, because I would have been like 15, high school, yeah. Yes, I'm that old. Yes, I told my age. I don't care. I'm a 68 baby and proud of it. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We represent the 68 babies. We do. All right. Moving forward, please welcome back to the stage Grace Bruley, Bellows Free Academy, St. Albans. Yes?
I am offering this poem by Jimmy Santiago Baca. I am offering this poem to you, since I have nothing else to give. Keep it, like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so it is a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. It is a scarf for your head, to wear over your hair, to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it. Treasure this as you would if you were lost, needing direction in the wilderness life becomes when mature. And in the corner of your drawer, tucked away like a cabin or hogan in dense trees, come knocking, and I will answer, give you directions, and let you warm yourself by this fire. Rest by this fire. And make you feel safe. I love you. It's all I have to give, and all anyone needs to live, and to go on living inside. When the world outside no longer cares if you live or die, remember, I love you.
All right. Aren't the simple things the most precious things sometimes? I used to trip out sometimes because I was almost like graduating college when I finally asked my dad, like, whenever I say I love you, why you don't say you love me back? And he said to me, well, you never went hungry. I thought that was love. The lights always stayed on. I thought that was love. And he was absolutely right. Sometimes we don't even recognize that we're being loved by the simplest of things, the simplest of actions. Yeah. Yeah. Let's think about that, right? Loving kindness. That's where I went for a second there. Yes. Okay. Please welcome back to the stage Brenna Lee, Williamstown High School.
Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived, whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee. With a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee. So that her highborn kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride in her sepulchre there by the sea. In her tomb, by the sounding sea.
I bet you're wondering what I'm getting ready to say now. Hot topic. Not a hot topic, the hot topic at the mall. I don't know why, but I have to go in there with my child. It's because I love her. But I wonder if she's really loving me, if she's making me go in there with her. And I think about that because she's so goth. And she actually asked me one time if I knew about goth. And I was like, what do you mean, the literature? What do you mean, with the architecture? She's like, no, what are you talking about? Oh, the clothes? So it was beautiful to have a conversation with my daughter about Gothic literature, Gothic architecture, all in the context of her self-identity and discovery. So the literature is going to pop up even at the Hot Topic, y'all. Even at the Hot Topic. I am not advertising for them. I apologize, Flynn Theater. Please welcome to the stage our next, back to the stage, Mary Bosco, Thetford Academy.
Sorrow is Not My Name by Ross Gay, after Gwendolyn Brooks. No matter the pull toward brink, no matter the florid, deep sleep awaits, there is a time for everything. Look, just this morning, a vulture nodded his red, grizzled head at me, and I looked at him, admiring the sickle of his beak. Then the wind kicked up, and after arranging that good suit of feathers, he up and took off. Just like that. And to boot, there are on this planet alone something like 2 million naturally occurring sweet things. Some with names so generous as to kick the steel from my knees. Agave, persimmon, stickball, the purple okra I bought for $2 at the market. Think of that. The long night, the skeleton in the mirror, the man behind me on the bus taking notes, yeah. Yeah. But look. My niece is running through a field calling my name. My neighbor sings like an angel, and at the end of my block is a basketball court. I remember. My color's green. I'm spring. For Walter Eikens.
I need to breathe. Will you breathe with me, please? There's been such beauty here tonight. I'm so grateful to be here with you all. Thank you for your energy. Thank you. We've talked about simple things and beautiful things and goth things, and we've talked about so much. I want us to take all of it in and carry it with us in the form of the beauty that has been given to us tonight or shared with us. Oh, I'm just so joyful. Okay. Whew. We're about to have our last person for round 2. Please welcome back to the stage Moria Lambert, Rice Memorial High School. Yay. So I know all of you have been with us and engaged in this process, right? In the beauty that has happened tonight. The first thing I would like for us to do is to give these young people for round one and round two a rousing round of applause. We're all happy for you. We're all proud of you. We're all excited for you. And whomever it may be that's going to represent Vermont. But all of you are superstars and winners. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts. I'm truly honored to have worked with you this evening. I have something for you, but I have to get with the audience first. Y'all give me a minute? Okay. Now, I asked you all about recitation of poetry, and several of you raised your hands. So let's take a mental note, because we're not supposed to have our cell phones, so we cannot, they're not supposed to be on, so we can't text type ourselves. But let's just have, what's the first poem you remember reciting? Share the name of it so that all of us can be familiar with it and maybe look it up later. Anyone? Do I have to ask for the house lights to come on and start pointing at people? Yes.
Stopping by woods on snowy evening.
Oh, I love that one. Oh, okay, go ahead. Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. Whose field this is? I think I know. That one. Okay, I know that one. Love it. Anyone else, please? Do not go gentle into that good night. Do we know that? Y'all remember? Oh, well, not remember, but we're just sharing. Anyone else, please?
I have another Robert Frost. It's Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice by Frost. My dad loved Crossing the Bar by Frost, so yeah. Anyone else want to share? Yes. The Mortal Autumn by Archibald I can't hear you. McLeish? Okay, look that one up. I'll look it up. I'll check it out. Anyone else?
The People by Pablo Neruda.
The People by Pablo Neruda. Yes? Yes. The Ballad of Reading Jail by Oscar Wilde. Thank you. It's a sharing. Feel free to share. Yes. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. No author, but look it up by the title, because poems are like that. Wordsworth. Okay, I didn't know, so thank you. Everything's an education for me. Anyone else? One more. Anyone? Remember, I'm not going to ask you to recite it. I just was asking you about your memory of recitation and names. Yes? No one else has a poem? Burning in the Rain by Richard. I don't remember the last name. Thank you. Burning in the Rain. Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, back to my young people. When I call your name, may I present you with these certificates? Oh, I'm so excited. I gotta put my glasses back on though, because I can't see nothing. Look like little dots running around. Please. Ann Hawes. Lily Hutchison. Mira Novak. I practiced that time. Thank you. Congratulations. Melissa Hall. Andy Marie Tisdale. Greer Kennedy. Here you are. Thank you so much. Thank you. Grace Bruley. Are you going to tell me later I said it wrong? Good. Brenna Lee. Here you are. Thank you. Mary Bosco. Thank you. And Moria Lambert. Moria. Morea. I gotta correct that. Thank you so much. It's Morea. Please give them all a wonderful. Oh, hold on. We need a photo, don't we? Oh, yes. We want to be able to see those. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Special shout out to all the wonderful people who made you all be here today again. Yes. Thank you so very much. Let's show the students some love. Celebrate yourselves all the time as best you can. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I have the names of our 3 people that are going to the 3rd round. Please have a round of applause for these 3 people. Ann Hawes. Greer Kennedy. Grace Bruley. Please welcome to the stage for the 3rd round, Ann Hawes.
Clear Night by Charles Wright. Clear night, thumb top of a moon, a backlit sky. Moon fingers lay down their same routine on the side deck and the threshold, the white keys and the black keys. Bird hush and bird song, acacia flower falls. I want to be bruised by God. I want to be strung up in a strong light and singled out. I want to be stretched like music wrung from a dropped seed. I want to be entered and picked clean. And the wind says, "What?" to me. And the castor beans with their little earrings of death say, "What?" to me. And the stars start out on their cold slide through the dark, and the gears notch, and the engines wheel.
Please welcome Greer Kennedy.
I am offering this poem by Jimmy Santiago Baca. I am offering this poem to you since I have nothing else to give. Keep it like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so it is a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. It is a scarf for your head to wear over your hair, to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it. Treasure this as you would if you were lost.
needing direction. In the wilderness life becomes when mature. And in the corner of your drawer, tucked away like a cabin or hogan in dense trees, come knocking, and I will answer, give you directions, and let you warm yourself by this fire, rest by this fire, and make you feel safe. I love you. It's all I have to give, and all anyone needs to live, and to go on living inside. When the world outside no longer cares if you live or die, remember, I love you.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the audience for sharing the poems that you shared, and I hope that everyone has the opportunity to look up some of those poems if you have not heard them before, and to share them with another person that was not here tonight and was not on the live stream. How do we begin to take our humanity, use a poem to help share our humanity with others? I think that's a good thing that we can think about doing, yeah? Put a little extra love into the world, yeah? I think so. Please welcome Grace Bruley.
Dawn by Ella Higginson. The soft-toned clock upon the stair chimed 3. Too sweet for sleep, too early yet to rise. In restful peace, I lay with half-closed eyes, watching the tender hours go dreamily. The tide was flowing in. I heard the sea shivering along the sands, while yet the skies were dim, uncertain, as the light that lies beneath the fretwork of some wild rose tree within the thicket gray. The chanticleer sent drowsy calls across the slumbrous air. In solemn silence, sweet it was to hear my own heart beat. Then broad and deep and fair, trembling in its new birth from heaven's womb, one crimson shaft of dawn sank through my room.
I would like for you to keep that love and applause going as we invite our 3 third-round finalists up to the stage for a photo. Would you please come join us upstage? And Greer and Grace. Are you joining them? Okay, I didn't know. Are other people taking? Say again? Come on. I thought they were going to come back over here with me. I was waiting. All right. I'm kind of sad to see the night end, but we're almost there, you know? I'm gonna, if I'm invited back, I'm gonna make my daughter come. It's gonna be some weeping and gnashing of teeth if she don't show up. Okay. I'm joking. That was probably in poor taste. Anyway, I'll say this again. I began by asking why poetry. Did that question get answered for anybody else tonight? Yeah, you got to answer for me personally, but it's not all about me. And then I asked the question, why, out loud. Did that question get answered for any of you tonight? Hearing, seeing, believing, sharing, gathering together for poetry, for our humanity. I want to take this opportunity to say to all you young people who have participated, thank you so much for representing yourselves in a positive, beautiful light through this art form. Thank you to your families. Thank you to everyone. And we're about to, I saw somebody hand them some, so I'm assuming that I have a task to do. Oh, what's that? Yes. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. Sounds like I need a little confidence boost, don't it? You can do it. I could do it. I could do it if I put my mind to it. Yes. That's not a poem. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary, everybody, right? Please give a round of applause for our runner-up tonight, Ann Hawes. To the stage. Okay. And our winner of Poetry Out Loud Vermont tonight, Greer Kennedy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Greer will go on to represent the state of Vermont in Washington, D.C., correct? So we need to send her away with a big, giant, rousing applause. Y'all get up! Get up! Come on! Congratulations to all of you. Please send your positive energy, thoughts, and vibrations to Greer. She represents the state of Vermont in Poetry Out Loud. We're rooting for you. We appreciate you. You are loved by the people in Vermont and soon to be everywhere. And with that, come on. I'm not going to leave you standing up there like I did a minute ago. We're good. Does the audience want to say anything else? Here's your opportunity to express yourself.
Wonderful night.
Thank you, sir. Somebody, thank you. Can I give you a hug? Can I give you an old-fashioned Louisiana hug? Here I come. Hold on. And with that, y'all don't go hug a stranger. Let me repeat. I forgot it's 2023. Hold on. With that, hug someone you love. You know what? Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your energy. And have a wonderful